Fonts, typefaces, text, typography, I don't care what you call them, but I do care to tell you about the best free fonts you can get right now to use in your design projects. First on my list is Dharma Gothic. It is one of my most used fonts without a doubt. You can get it for free on Adobe Fonts. So if you have any of the Adobe apps, if you have Creative Cloud, at least you know the right way, the legitimate way, then you will have access to this font and you can use it for whatever you want. The font has 3 different families, and by that I mean that you have C, E, and M, which are all different widths. Every one of those families have the same amount of weight, so you have plenty of options. You can use it for something you want to look super high-end and clean, but you can also use it for something that looks very gritty and grungy. Personally, I love using it for titles or even thumbnails because it is so big, bold, and legible. And for the motion designers out there like myself, it's also super easy to animate because it has a lot of straight lines and nice curves to work with. One hack I've found to using this font is combining it with a sans serif. So you have this big, bold, Dharma Gothic font, and then right next to it you have a more clean sans serif font, and that just goes really well together. If you're in the motion design community, you probably know about Revi. They are famously known for using the Space Grotesque font across their projects. It's a super clean font, and I understand why so many people are copying them and using it, and I've also included it because it is such a good font. It's a monospace font, which makes it perfect for animating numbers, timers, all that stuff, because you don't get that weird jumping when each letter shifts. The font has a lot of cool characteristics to it, which makes it stand out amongst all the other monospace fonts available. They tend to be a bit boring, but this one has some really cool traits to it that makes it stand out and super good to use in various projects because it is an attention-grabbing font. This font is probably one of my favorite fonts of all time. I use it way too much, and that is Helvetica Neue, I think you say. I don't know how you say it. But since I have a Mac, it comes with it's just pre-installed, which is also why I love it. But if you don't have a Mac, I do have some alternatives for you that you can get either on Google Fonts or on Adobe Fonts. Alternatives to Helvetica would be Enter if you want to go Google Fonts. Also Active Grotesque, which is also another font that you can get on Adobe Fonts. Both of those very similar to Helvetica Neue, all sans serif fonts, and they are super clean and offer a wide variety of weights. Their simple nature makes them perfect to use in experimental text layouts. Bottom line, you cannot go wrong with a sans serif font like Helvetica Neue, Enter, or Active Grotesque. This list wouldn't be complete without at least one wide font, and my pick for this category is Pragmatica. It's a newcomer to my workflow, and I discovered it through a Danish creative agency. They use this for all the titles on the website. It has everything from narrow to wide and all the weights in between. It is an absolute joy and you cannot go wrong with this. Overall, it's a super clean and modern font, which makes it perfect for kinetic type pieces or modern design elements, and would work extremely well in gaming or sports related fields where you want some of that power and oomph that wide fonts provide. There's a lot that goes into good type layout, but starting with a good font definitely makes that process a lot easier. That sums up the list of my favorite and most used fonts, aka the best fonts that you can get right now for free, and I'll see you again next week. So thank you and peace out.